So after months and months, maybe close to a year of modding and learning and troubleshooting and just all sorts of different experiences, I'm finally ready to start my Skyrim playthrough. The end result was 625 mods, plugins, I can tell you. Give me just a second, because I know some people do ask. 541, ESMs 23, ESPs 202, ESMs plus ESPs 225, and ESLs 316. That is the total number that I have of everything. And it took a lot of head scratching, frustration, and just different learning, but I figured it out. And I'm grateful to all of the mod authors who created these fantastic mods. I'm also very grateful to every forum that's out there that basically walks you through every aspect of modding Skyrim, because it started out as a pretty small, interest, want. I just wanted to add a few cool mods, some stuff that I'd seen on TikTok, online, and I started modding on my PlayStation. Came to find out that it was incredibly limited. Decided to get Skyrim on my PC, and let me tell you, it's quite a journey. And if any of you decide that you want to start modding Skyrim in the future, it is daunting, it can be, but I would highly recommend really just getting comfortable reading, watching videos and tutorials, and really educate yourself on the process, what you need, tips and tricks, things to avoid. It'll help a lot in saving time, because like I said, for me, it's been a year, 6 months, but I've done a lot of self-teaching. I didn't like having to go through so many tutorials, but that caused me to spend hours among hours just trying to get things right, and it ended up being a really simple fix. So don't be afraid to ask the community for help. There's so many people out there who've either had the same problem you're having or a similar problem, and even more of them are willing to help. So definitely utilize the community when you start modding Skyrim, if you do decide to. In regards to my particular mod list, I might make it postable or downloadable in the future. I still haven't figured out how to do that. I do just want to basically showcase my gameplay for the time being, get people interested, see if anyone really enjoys what I've put together here. I put a heavy focus on lore mods. I didn't really add any that felt too out of place. All of the ones I put in here more or less feel like they belong in Skyrim. I think the edgiest ones or the craziest ones I put in are dragon retextures. I really love how Game of Thrones dragons look, so you'll see those in here. This particular one over here, he looks like the base dragon, and some of them didn't get the retextures as stated by the mod author himself. I have seen people change this particular dragon. I personally didn't want to take the time to figure it out, because for me this is such a small aspect of the game, the starting room, so didn't feel important. But yeah, I put a heavy focus on making sure everything felt like it belonged, and then also enhancing some factions, and one in particular that didn't really get the love it deserved. Vigilance of Stendar now have their own DLC. It's called Vigilant SE. I'm on special edition, and I did play through the entirety of it through one playthrough, and it is amazing. Just a really well done mod. The team that put that together really took into consideration the lore of Tamriel and the lore of the Daedra and Molag Bal. So highly recommend that if you do decide to start modding on your own. If you don't decide to use my particular list, definitely get Vigilant in there, because it will give so much more depth to that faction. And I built a lot of retexture models for their armor around Vigilant, so they feel more like the Knights Templar in Skyrim. So it feels very, very fluid, very good, and it's just, it enhances the experience within this world, I think, by tenfold. But without further ado, I'm going to get started. So as you can see in this first room here, this is the alternate perspective mod. I did put an add-on or two for additional options to start your game that you'll see when I click on the dragon, but The starting room does have little indicators. You can add a mod that takes them away, but basically it shows you all the weapons are in that chest over there. There's a bunch of spell books over there in that dresser next to the bed. And then there's a ton of armor in the wardrobe here. You got your basic foods and drinks, a little note basically explaining what alternate perspective is. I've recently arrived in Helgen, decided to rent a room at the Resting Pilgrim. If I decide to extend my stay, I should talk to the innkeeper Matlara. I have a feeling something interesting might happen if I do so. So basically all this is telling you is you're in Helgen right now. This is the starting town, and Helgen is a fully functioning city right now, or town. If I were to walk out that door, there's a few quests that people want you to retrieve some items, go to Windhelm, or deliver a thing. Or you can just start the vanilla start from the alternate perspective of someone watching the executions, which is really, really cool. A small glitch that I found in that, your health bar disappears when the scene finishes, when Alduin attacks. All you have to do is just save it and then reload it, and everything will be back to normal. No one could figure out how to fix that, I guess, so whatever. Otherwise, also in this little strong box over here, there's a ton of jewelry and money, 5,000 gold. I already took it all while I was setting up my character. Let's see here. Get all this. I guess I need a plate and a cup. And let's see what we got. We're going to start out by talking to him.